for this to start catching up. So, welcome to Live Forever Young Radio Live. This is Raleigh here. I'm with Bob. We were actually coming live today at 11 a.m. on Thursday. Every Tuesday and Thursday, come and join us for our live sessions. If you have any questions, I have the chat open here. We can talk about anything that you guys want to bring up as long as we're able to. But yeah, welcome. Bob, how's it going?
Great, Raleigh. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I've been gone for a week. Back now.
Yes. Actually, here at Live Forever Young Radio Live /Boomer Products, we are always looking for the newest and latest innovations and breakthroughs in health and wellness, right? Our products are some of them, right? And so when we have products like this, it attracts others who have these type of breakthroughs that want to share it, you know? So Bob has been gone. If you didn't notice on the last show, it was just me. Bob has been gone to Costa Rica at the Optimal Longevity Academy conference. And he's been able to come back with some really good information about some really cool breakthroughs. And that's what we wanted to do a show about today. Take a minute to share some of them with you, go over it with you, and then maybe talk about some of the amazing benefits they can help with, right?
Yeah, so this was a great conference. Very well planned out, very well attended by medical doctors, chiropractors, other practitioners that are people that are really coming from their heart that want to help other people to stay young and healthy throughout the course of their life.
Mm-hmm.
And they came from various countries, a lot of people from the United States, Canada, Costa Rica itself, and numerous other countries.
Awesome. And about how many people attended?
There was about 150 in the audience.
Nice.
And there were 30 people that came who were vendors that brought their products to show to the audience.
Nice.
And so it was a great conference.
We were there as a vendor, correct?
Yes. Absolutely. So what the attendees are looking for is they are looking for updates. So the updates are being presented by speakers and by vendors.
Okay.
So I spoke twice to the group. Once I spoke to them about our Gladiator barley product.
Yes.
And once I spoke to them about our sleep aid product.
Yes, we actually have the Gladiator barley bottle right here. Boom, yep. Gladiator barley.
They were really interested to hear about that. And I brought a bunch of sleep aid products with us. Mm-hmm. And I had people in the audience raise their hand if they wanted a free sample. And I got to use my throwing arm to throw stuff all the way to the back of the room. One guy tried to catch it while he was balancing his laptop in his other hand.
Oh, no.
And when I threw it to him, it hit his laptop. And he almost dropped it. He was like, whoa. It didn't break his laptop. And then there was one lady.
Dangerous sleep.
She was a physician who was elderly, we should say. She probably middle-aged, 78, 80.
Right, that's middle-aged around.
She wanted one, and I just underhand tossed it to her. And she went to catch it, and she missed it by a foot. And it hit her in the side of her face.
Bob. Oh, Lord. Oh, it's a good thing we didn't have a Goodnight Formula cannon, and it would have hurt.
Exactly. So anyway, we gave away about 30 bottles to people that wanted it. And while I was there, we had there were 3 or 4 people that were the main leaders of the conference, including one woman doctor. I won't mention her name because she used our Goodnight formula while we were there. So she's a customer of ours now.
Oh, okay, cool.
And her biggest problem in her life was sleep. She had her mind is always racing. Mm-hmm. She's always planning. She's up at 4:00 in the morning working with the other man who was the planner for the conference.
Sure.
And so I talked to her about sleep because she only sleeps 4 hours a night.
Oof, that's rough.
But she wakes up. So I explained to her about sleep cycles and that her sleep cycle was a little bit shorter than the average, and that she's waking up after 4 hours because she's gone through 3 sleep cycles. So I said, you want to really try to get another sleep cycle, because that would really be the minimum that you want to sleep. So sure enough, the very first night she tried it while we were at the conference, she slept an extra hour and a half.
That's great.
perfect.
That's the Goodnight formula. Yep. Actually, Goodnight formula right now on our Dog Days of Summer sale is 40% off.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So if you haven't tried the Goodnight formula and you need to sleep, definitely. Amazing. Well, don't let Bob throw it at you because he might knock you in the side of the head. I won't
throw it at you, but I also got to work with this lady to teach her numerous techniques about sleep. Mm-hmm. And there were others, believe it or not, there were a lot of people there that were having trouble with sleep. Mm. So I got to teach in small groups the techniques of the ultimate mind calming exercise. I taught people how to relax their tongue. Mm-hmm. I taught people the emotional freedom technique and havening.
All those are actually on our website, boomerboost.com. You can actually, I'm going to put the QR code up. You can go there. And if you search for blogs, well, if you don't even have to search for blogs, just search sleep tips and it'll bring up all the articles and podcasts we've done on it. And also, if you go to the top as well, you will find a section that's called self-care. And you can go to there and it'll have all the information about the emotional freedom technique, tapping, ultimate mind calming exercise. And it also has sleep tips that we've come up with over the years. So,
Raleigh also met 4 people who, one was a vendor and 3 were practitioners, who one lived about an hour from here, one lived 20 minutes from here, and the 2 others lived, one of them lives 1 minute from here.
Really? Okay.
Right by the Tyrone Mall.
Oh, okay.
He lives right by the Tyrone Mall with his wife.
That's great.
And all of these people are interested in the Boomer products now and didn't realize that we were right on Central Avenue in St. Peter's.
That's funny.
So that was great. We also met people from Texas, from Kentucky that are interested in using all of our products for themselves and for their patients.
Good.
So we'll be following up with all those people. What we brought as our biggest contribution, because the theme of the conference was inflammation.
Correct.
Now, the people at the conference did not know there was such a thing as our Gladiator or Heirloom Barley combined with Boomer Boost that reduces your inflammation by 10 times. They were pretty skeptical about that. And a lot of their patients have diabetes and have very high inflammation. And I explained to them that our customers that use our products that have diabetes do not have high inflammation.
Correct.
And that they need to know about this. There were numerous other things. They had no idea there was a product that was developed for people without a colon or a diseased colon that could get them all the metabolites that they need. They were not aware that we had gone to the effort to do that. And they also knew nothing about the new science that goes into our sleep aid, because there is no other company in the world that has the science that we know about in our sleep aid.
Right.
And so they were surprised to discover that there was one company in St. Petersburg that had made all of these discoveries in collaboration with our formulators, growers, researchers, and that we were the ones that facilitated the bringing it to the marketplace for people to consume.
Yeah, and I mean, just because we did it actually doesn't mean it's easy still. I mean, especially with the supply chain issues that are still occurring from the pandemic and beyond. These are one-of-a-kind agricultural products, these 4 right here, that you can only get from one place.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that in and of itself is a miracle to get these 4 individual things, the metabolites, probiotics, the lignans, the heirloom barleys, and then this thing is a beast to make. I mean, to source the ingredients, the 68 ingredients, and then get them in the right ratios is actually very difficult. And the flavoring,
the monk fruit.
Don't even get into that. That's so. I could understand the reason why I'm going into. I could understand that most people would be skeptical that one company has all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because
it would be breakthroughs. Usually a company will have one breakthrough, maybe 5 years later they might have another one after their research and all that. We ended up having 5 major breakthroughs that are part of our company. We're very fortunate to know the business associates and colleagues that we do that help us with all of this.
Yeah. And without their help, it would definitely not be easy to do.
And The other person that we got to talk to quite a bit, there was 2 people there that were experts in wound care.
Mm-hmm.
And they made an hour-long presentation. And they don't mind us using their name. Nancy, I believe her last name is Morgan,
mm-hmm.
and Robert Lang.
Okay.
Lange.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the Robert Lang who lives here in town.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
So they're world travelers that travel teaching about wound care. They too were not aware that there was a product like Gladiator Barley.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gladiator Barley helps a lot in the overall scheme of treating people that have wounds that won't heal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the reason is a lot of people get wounds when they're older because they've lost so much muscle weight.
Mm-hmm.
And when I used to run nursing homes, people would get a bed sore because they were so frail and thin from being 99 years old that their bones were protruding.
Ooh,
and when you lie on a mattress and your bone is pushing against your skin, you get what's called a decubitus ulcer, which is also called a bed sore, and it actually starts from the inside out. So by the time you see a little bed sore, it's not just a little sore, it's already 6 layers deep.
Oof.
Okay? And so keeping people well nourished with amino acids and metabolic enzymes is crucial, because number one, if you can keep muscle weight on people who are elderly, they won't get bed sores to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, if they do, it requires a lot of protein to help facilitate the healing.
Gotcha.
And of course, these 2 scientists knew of the importance of this, but they weren't aware that there was a way easier way to get protein to people via sprouted seeds. And so they were excited to learn that they'll have this now in their arsenal for helping people with difficult to heal wounds.
Yeah, we talk about these products as like tools for people to use. And sometimes you make a tool and it works great. Not enough people know about it. Then finally somebody discovers it, and it revolutionizes the way people are either building things, like in housing. They have those 3D printing houses now, That's a breakthrough, right? It was around for a while. They were skeptical of it, but then they realized how fast and how easy it would work. Similar breakthrough, but in the world of health and wellness, And, that's one of the things that I think attracts these like-minded people together, and it gives us the ability to kind of be a community and share these breakthroughs amongst ourselves, and then further it out to everybody else. So, really glad to cover it.
Yeah. So a couple other things, Raul. There was a distributor there that distributes the same circulation bed that we do.
Oh yeah, circulation bed, right?
And I got a chance to talk to the lady who was doing that. She was presenting it, demonstrating it to everybody, and I got to spend lots of time sharing information with her.
With that PEMF mat, I understand. I think a newer version of it just recently came out.
Yeah, it's available right now.
Nice.
Just this week.
Okay, good.
The other thing is, Raleigh, we made a podcast called Photobiomodulation. Was it in 3 parts or 2?
That was a 3-parter.
3 parts.
Very long, a lot of information, but very good information. I love that one. So if you go to boomerboost.com and you just search the term photobiomodulation, or I guess you could say light therapy is in there.
Yeah.
Search light therapy and you'll find 3 podcasts we did. And they are amazing. The founder of Just Light, Peter Forehand. Yep. We interviewed him for 3 hours and he explained the science of healing with light, the history of it, how he's taken a product and made it that it's actually, I believe, it's FDA approved now.
I don't know if we got the approval, but it is for sale.
Okay. So we don't know if he's got the FDA approval, but it's for sale. It's treatment of dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that with infrared light.
Right.
Very cool.
Exactly. So, of course, there were people there demonstrating infrared light different than what Peter has.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you about that now, because one of them relates to wound healing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a company called Vital Health Solutions.
Okay.
And I picked up this flyer from them that shows this kit that they have.
We'll have
and it has in it this roll. You can see it, and flip to the other side.
So you've
and essentially what it is, a long, narrow mat, which is there's a better picture of it on the other side.
Yep. Flip it over.
And you can put this right on your legs. You can wrap it right around your feet. You can wrap it around your waist if you want to. But the thing they were really promoting is it helps with wound healing. So this is designed for wound healing, but as it turns out, as they worked with it, it helps with other things as well.
Sure.
Great company. Now, here's another company, and this is called redlightwellness.com. And this is a picture of this bed that you lie in that's like a tanning bed.
Looks like a tanning bed. Look at that.
It's a tanning bed, but it doesn't tan you. It gives a very strong projection of red and near-infrared light that is infused into your body.
Ooh.
The photoreceptors on your cells, including the photoreceptors inside your cells, which are on the surface of the mitochondria, absorb this photonic light and convert it.
Here's a picture of what you took. Go ahead.
Yeah, it gets converted into energy. So just like when a plant absorbs light, it converts it into sugar.
Right.
And that's why plants have carbohydrates.
Carbs.
It's coming from the sunlight. So there's an intense amount of new science of the benefits of light for the human body.
Yeah.
This particularly will help to charge your mitochondria, your Krebs cycle, your energy, and the like. It also heals various other things. It's great for skin conditions and that kind of thing.
One of the important things that you need with products like this is the nutrition, though, and the aminos and the materials, technically, to rebuild, repair, and renew the body. And so that's why it's a great marriage of these type of products with this type of technology. So you could sit on in the light all you want all day, but if you don't have the nutrients to rebuild with, and the aminos and the vitamins and minerals and the coenzymes and all the specialty nutrients that you need that you can get from the supplements, you're not going to get as great a result.
And at the conference, they knew that. They showed like this circle of life type of thing, and the basic core was nutrition.
There you go.
And they know that. These scientists that are the presenters are all very well aware of that. And that's why they invited us to the conference.
That's awesome.
The main medical doctor, who is part of the planning committee, was familiar with our products because I met her over in Boca Raton in Florida, and I went there to get an injection in my knee of stem cells. And she was the supervising doctor who was training other doctors how to do these procedures at a clinic over in Boca. And I went over and I volunteered to allow another doctor who was learning to do the injection in my knee.
There you go.
And with this other supervisor doctor. So while I was there, they learned about Boomer products.
There you go.
And it turns out that another doctor and his friend who is a nurse, they were already using our products and were there. And now they also carry those products in that clinic over there in Boca Raton.
That's great.
So that's how the whole thing came together. And what I also got to learn a lot about was stem cell technology.
Yes.
Because in addition to the conference, the Infinity Health Company, who has been in Colombia for many years doing stem cell treatments, opened up a new center in Costa Rica 5 minutes away from the hotel where we held the conference. So one day we got to go and visit the new clinic. They had not finished it completely yet, but they were treating patients. We didn't get to watch them treat patients. they were only doing one at a time at this point because the doors had not arrived for the treatment rooms.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
But it's a beautiful, beautiful modern clinic. That
supply chain issues, man. We talk about it,
and people travel to Costa Rica to receive all different types of stem cell treatments for all different aspects of their health and wellness. And a good portion of the conference was lectures by doctors teaching other doctors how to do these treatments. And I got to sit in and watch quite a few of them.
Cool.
One great thing was there's a Dr. John Sutherland, who's an expert in these types of injections. I got to talk to him about my knee, which has no anterior cruciate ligament and a torn cartilage. And he said, well, you're in luck because the best doctor in the United States at treating those types of things is in Tampa.
Really?
Yeah. So I am going to go and visit the doctor in Tampa to get an evaluation of my knee.
That's
all right.
That's a small world.
Another thing is with this light bed, this is another thing I had discovered with this powerful bed. There's a Dr. Foss, Foss, right here in St. Petersburg that has one of these beds at his clinic.
There you go.
It's right down the street.
That's crazy.
Right down the street.
Small world.
His place is called Niva Health, Niva Health.
Okay.
And I'm going to go down there and check out that.
Is that right on Central?
I don't think it's on Central.
Okay.
But we're going to have to look it up.
We'll look it up.
Yeah.
That's what the web's for.
And I got one last thing.
Yeah.
This is a
great stuff so far, Bob.
Device.
Love it.
Yeah, isn't it fun? So this is a device called the Wellness Pro.
All right. Let's show the
This is a treatment device that is in a different category. It's kind of similar to our circulation mat, but it's more meant for direct targeted care.
Okay.
And this is an amazing device. They had photographs of what they were able to do with this. And they showed a man's leg that had to have surgery. They had to make about a foot-long cut on his side of his foot all the way up the side of his leg. And it wasn't healing. And there wasn't anything they could do. It just was not healing at all. And it was wide open cut. And they treated him for 5 days with this Wellness Pro. They showed the picture.
Really?
Thing sealed right up, and it was as good as new.
Targeted.
Yeah.
Very targeted therapy for would be circulation, you would think?
I wasn't able to get into it with them in terms of the science of how it actually healed that wound. There were a lot of people crowded around trying it out, that type of thing. But I did get to meet the people that created the device, and I have their contact information to speak to them about it more in the future.
Absolutely.
And we may want to do a podcast about this device someday.
Yeah, well, definitely.
So
this is just
know about it.
This is just the start of sharing the new information.
I'll tell you the one other one that I really want to do a podcast about. This is a company that sells braces. Now, let me see. I think I brought their card in here.
Okay.
It is called it's called Guardian Brace.
Guardian Brace.
Now, the website's down here, but the way they made their card, it's hard to read. I don't know if you could see that.
Guardianbrace.com.
Guardianbrace.com.
Yeah. There you go.
So
it's a little shiny. It's hard to read. There you go.
This is an amazing company that headed up by a medical doctor who was frustrated helping patients that were recovering from knee surgery, ankle surgery, hip surgery, and replacements, particularly knee replacements. And the reason he was frustrated is the braces that were available all around the world were not very effective. They would slip, they would slip down. They weren't actually holding the knee in the right place. So he knew as an orthopedic surgeon that after surgery, you want your knee to be perfectly aligned, and you want it just right over your foot and just right under your hip.
Gotcha.
It's called the kinetic chain, right? The foot bone's connected to the ankle bone, to the knee bone, etc.
Love it.
Well, the kinetic chain is very important, because if one piece of it is off, it throws the rest of it off. And
Sure.
I know this very well from having extreme pain in my right hip as the ball and socket were wearing out because my knee and foot were not in the right position, and it was affecting my hip.
Jim Lee also works with us. He had a very similar issue.
I was able to fix mine by fixing my feet because the problem was in my foot.
Right.
But my knee is still inducted a little bit. I'm going to go and get one of these braces. It turns out their manufacturing plant and the doctor that helps fit them for you is 20 minutes from here in Clearwater.
That's crazy.
So what it does for you is it lines it up perfectly. You can make minute adjustments with the help of their doctors. You don't have to come to Clearwater because their other doctor does Zoom calls, and he'll spend a whole hour with you helping you tweak that brace over a Zoom call.
Okay.
The president of the company will do this for you.
That's amazing.
But if you're in Florida and you want to go to Clearwater, there's another medical doctor there on site who I'm going to go see to have it precisely fitted. Now, they're making adjustments to it, but then they have a pneumatic aspect to it where there are little holes in the side of the brace that you can attach this little balloon with a nodule coming out of it and pump it to make micro adjustments on either side.
So it's a fully customizable one-size-fits-all brace somehow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And so they pump on one side, they get it lined up, they'll pump on the other side, get it lined up, they'll let a little off of one side or the other, and when they have it exactly right, that's your brace.
Wow.
And what they said happens is it lines up, we're talking just about knees for the moment, it lines up your knee so perfectly that when you walk with this brace on, all the muscles and ligaments and tendons, the soft tissue, is strengthened right where it needs to be strengthened, the exact position where your muscles are. But if your knee is off and the muscles that are trying to support it are now going to be twisted, and they're connected to another tendon, to another muscle, to a bone, and the whole thing starts to pull and tug, and you can actually get a headache from your knee being out of whack. Okay? So
kinetic chain.
Yeah. So this company solves that problem. They say that if you walk with this brace on for 90 days, your muscles will get so strong in that position that you won't even need the brace anymore.
Wow.
But, of course, you can keep it. You know, if you're going to go play basketball or whatever, you put the brace on to keep it stabilized, and you're good to go.
That's great. So Guardian Brace.
Guardian Brace. Again, so I want to bring those guys on to do a podcast with them and let them explain it. Like, they have a fascinating story about why they did it, how they did it. The people are really cool. The medical doctor, and
I love
other
it.
guys.
I mean, it says right here, Pinellas Park. That's right down the road.
Yep.
That's great.
That's where they make them.
That's so funny.
The guys I met were not from Clearwater / Pinellas Park. They actually were from different parts of the country. They worked for the company, and one's the president, and they came together in a pile, we say in Florida, down in Costa Rica to let everybody know about this.
That's great, man. So a lot of really good breakthroughs you were able to bring back. Definitely, we want to get in touch with some of these people, get them on the show, just like we did with Peter, with the Just Light company. So very exciting. That's what we like to do. We like to bring health, wellness, news, information, breakthroughs, and actually provide some of our own. So either way, hopefully that was it, Bob. If you have anything else.
No, I don't. I'd just like to say thanks, everybody, for watching and listening to Live Forever Young Radio Live, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Have a good one.